Let's bring in Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Kunle Adegoke, for more on this development. Senior Advocate, thanks for joining us on the news tonight. The OCEC is under a lot of pressure coming from the AGF as well as the police as regards concerns about the conduct of this election. But what does this order by the Osun State High Court really mean for the legitimacy of this election scheduled to hold tomorrow?
Thank you very much, Nifemi. I will say straight away that the order procured from the Osun State High Court on the 21st of February 2025 is fraudulently and illegally obtained. And it was quite undiscerning for the institution and the personality that granted the order in question. When you look at the order, you agree with me that this cannot be a product of a legitimate procedure of adjudication. Here we have an order granted in favor of People's Democratic Party that decided to bring an action against itself in a case where there is no dispute, in a case where there is no cause of action. Why do I say this? When you look at the order obtained by PDP, you see that it was obtained against Mr. Hashim Abioye, the chairman of Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, which has been criticized to be a body under the control of Mr. Hashim Abioye, who is a card-carrying member of People's Democratic Party. Aside from this, OCEC has never said in the past few weeks that it will not conduct the election into the local government councils from 22nd of February. It has always insisted that it is going to conduct the election, and that is in defiance of the decision of the Court of Appeal in the decision handed down on the 10th of February 2025, where we have a body that has insisted that it is going to do an act. You now find someone bringing an action to compel that same body to do the particular act. Where is the dispute? What exactly is the cause of action? On what basis is the judge making such an order? It is an order illegally procured and granted by the judge in a manner that is quite questionable. And in this circumstance, it is not a product of legitimate adjudication in any manner whatsoever.
The order of the State High Court also asks security agencies to provide security before, during, and after the conduct of this election. What is the provision of the law when there are concerns, especially from the Nigeria Police Force, saying it can't guarantee that this exercise will hold without rancor?
Yes, the implication then is that it would have been better for the judge to direct the applicant in this case to put the police on notice so that they can come and justify why they should not be directed to provide security in a situation where they fear that there will be a breakdown of law and order. Rather than the judge doing this, he rather went ahead to grant the prayers of the People's Democratic Party against a defendant that is not even resisting the order in the first place. Aside from this, when you look at that order, you see that it is quite questionable on the basis that the procedure by which it was even obtained is unknown to law. Here is a judgment granted on the basis of a mere motion on notice. I have seen the order, I've read it thoroughly, times without number, and I discovered that it was an order made pursuant to a motion on notice. A motion on notice is not a means of commencing an action. It is a means of obtaining what we call maybe an interlocutory order. And where a motion on notice is filed by a party, the order to be made will be for probably an injunction or mandating a body to do a particular act pending the determination of maybe the substantive suit. In this case, the judgment of Justice Aderibigbe does not indicate that there is any substantive suit. In fact, the action was purported to have been filed on 18th of February, and on the 21st of February, final judgment was granted. The order says enrollment of judgment as it's heading, and in the body of it, it says judgment, meaning that the court had come to a final determination by mere motion or notice. There are four ways recognized under the law and under the High Court rules of Osun State for bringing an action. And when you do not comply with this procedure, then your action is incompetent. One is by writ of summons. The second is by originating summons. The third is by originating motion. And the last one is by a petition. Where a party commencing an action now comes by motion on notice, which is a means of asking for an interlocutory order in between the proceeding of a particular court, and the court proceeds to grant a final judgment. That judgment is a product of illegitimate adjudication, and it is a nullity.
All eyes on Osun. If that election holds tomorrow, there will be 2 different elected officers for a single office. Very interesting development, and we'll wait to see how that will impact, on the polity. That's our time. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Kunle Adegoke, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
And still ahead on TVC News at 10, the federal government, through the Ministry of Interior, begins relocation of custodians